Imagine discovering a secret so powerful, it changes the way you see the world forever. Commander Ibrahim Traoré thought he knew everything about his household staff, but one quiet woman, his cook, was hiding a truth so extraordinary it would challenge everything he believed about charity, courage, and the power of one person to change lives. Before we dive in, tell me this, what time is it where you are watching from? Which country is tuning in right now? Comment below. I want to know where this story is reaching. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe. Join the Commander Ibrahim Traoré Nation for more stories that inspire, amaze, and remind us of the power of compassion. The sun was sinking over Ouagadougou, painting the presidential study in golden orange hues. Commander Ibrahim Traoré sat in his chair, staring at the window, watching the shadows stretch across the room. For weeks, he had noticed something strange about Amina, the cook who had been with his household staff for years. She was always quiet, hard-working, dependable, but recently, her behavior had changed. After every meal, she would carefully pack leftovers, not a small container for herself, but enormous amounts of rice, meat, and vegetables. She would load it all into a worn, heavy bag she kept hidden in the pantry. And then, almost nervously, she would slip out the back door. Commander Traoré's mind raced. Was she stealing to sell the food at the market? Did she have a sick family member? The thought of confrontation gnawed at him, but his instincts, the same instincts that had guided him through the toughest battles, told him there was more to the story. Tonight, he decided, he would follow her as dinner ended and the last officials left the dining room. Traoré stayed behind. Through the window, he saw Amina step out with the heavy bag. She moved carefully, eyes darting around to ensure no one was watching. Commander Traoré told his security detail he was retiring for the night, but instead, he slipped into a plain, unmarked car he kept for personal use. He followed her at a distance, headlights dimmed, moving slowly over dirt roads and crowded alleys. She wasn't heading to the market or the bus station. She was heading home, to a part of the city he rarely saw, a neighborhood filled with dirt roads, simple clay homes, and children playing in the dusty streets. This wasn't the path of a thief, it was the path of someone on a mission of love. Amina turned down a narrow alleyway too small for the car. Traoré parked on the main road and continued on foot, keeping to the shadows. His heart pounded. Why did she need so much extra food? Through a small gap in the gate, he peered inside. What he saw stopped him in his tracks. Inside the tiny courtyard were at least 15 children, ranging from toddlers to preteens. Their faces were thin, their clothes worn, but their eyes were bright, filled with hope. As Amina approached, they called out to her, their voices soft yet full of joy. She smiled, and the weight of the heavy bag melted into warmth as she began unpacking the food. She knelt down, handing out plates of leftovers from the presidential table. Not as a boss, but as a mother to all of them. Every plate, every gesture, spoke of patience, love, and selflessness. Traoré felt a lump in his throat. This wasn't crime, it was heroism. This woman, earning a humble salary, had been feeding the forgotten children of Ouagadougou with the leftovers from his own kitchen. The nervousness he had seen in her was not the fear of being caught, it was the fear of not having enough for those who depended on her. He watched as she fixed a little girl's hair, listened to a young boy's story, wiped a smudge from a small face. Her actions were not a duty, they were love in motion. He could not just walk in and reveal himself. That would scare the children, shatter the fragile world Amina had built for them. Instead, he backed away, returning to his car with a mind swirling in awe and shame. He had thought he was following a potential thief, but instead, he had witnessed an act of unparalleled humanity. The next morning, Amina arrived at work, unaware that she had been discovered. She moved about quietly, preparing breakfast, her face etched with determination. Traoré ate in silence, the faces of the children still vivid in his mind. After breakfast, he asked his trusted aide, Bari, to summon Amina to his private study. Panic flared in her eyes. Was she to be fired? Arrested? Her hands trembled as she walked to the heavy wooden door, knocking softly. "Come in," Traoré's calm voice called. Amina entered, eyes downcast. "You asked to see me, Commander," she whispered. He didn't speak immediately. The silence stretched, thick and heavy. Then, slowly, he turned. "Amina," he said, his voice gentle but firm, "I know what you've been doing." Tears welled in her eyes. "Commander, please, I can explain. It's not for me. It's for the children." Traoré nodded. "I followed you last night. I saw them. I understand everything." She broke down, her secret finally exposed, not to shame, but to understanding. Through her tears, she recounted how she found the first orphans, how she used her salary to care for them, and how she began taking leftovers from the presidential meals to ensure no child went hungry. Traoré placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Amina, you are not a thief. You are a hero. And you will not carry this burden alone anymore." He moved quickly. Calling ministers of social action, health, and education, he demanded an urgent meeting. Within the hour, the ministers arrived. Traoré told them the story, not statistics, not budgets, but the story of one woman, her 15 children, and her extraordinary sacrifice. The ministers were moved to tears. This wasn't policy, it was courage, love, and humanity. By sunrise, the government mobilized. Vehicles filled with doctors, nurses, social workers, and supplies rolled into Amina's neighborhood. Medical care, clothes, food, and sanitation supplies were delivered. The children's lives changed overnight. Traoré did not stop there. He announced the creation of Number Yamatumani, the House of Hope, a national mission to provide homes, education, and care for vulnerable children across the country. Amina was named director. The facility would include dormitories, classrooms, a medical clinic, a kitchen, and a playground. The story spread nationwide, inspiring communities to care for their most vulnerable. Donations poured in. Volunteers mobilized. Other small houses of hope began to appear across Burkina Faso, fueled by Amina's example. Months passed. The House of Hope became a beacon of compassion. Children learned to read, discovered talents in art and sports, and grew in a nurturing environment. Amina, once hidden in the shadows, now led with love and expertise. 1 year later, Traoré reflected in his office. One decision, to follow a cook, had changed the lives of hundreds. Poverty was still a challenge, but the nation's mindset had shifted from mere survival to shared responsibility. Years later, historians might record Traoré's programs, but the real legacy was in laughter, hope, and opportunity. Children who had been saved from despair became engineers, teachers, and doctors. A single act of compassion had created a ripple, transforming a nation. Traoré looked out over the sleeping city, thinking of Amina, probably checking on the children in the House of Hope. Sometimes, the people closest to you hide the brightest light. And if you trust your instincts, if you choose compassion over suspicion, you can uncover that light and change everything. If this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the Commander Ibrahim Traoré Nation for more stories that inspire action and hope. Comment below, what would you have done if you were in the commander's shoes? Remember, one act of courage can change the lives of hundreds. One choice to see the truth, rather than jump to judgment, can create a ripple that transforms an entire nation.